Well, we've already talked about authoritarianism. Now it's time to discuss a radical new dictatorship that emerged in the 1920s and 30s.
You mean, of course, totalitarianism.
Right. At this time, we see a couple of totalitarian dictators come to power.
Yes. We see Joseph Stalin in the Soviet Union, and that guy in Germany, I forget his name. He has the funny mustache.
Hey, don't make fun of my mustache.
Oh, him. That was Adolf Hitler.
Say, what about Mussolini in Italy? Does he fit into this group?
You know, that's a good question. There's widespread disagreement among historians as to whether or not he was actually a totalitarian dictator. Maybe we should label him as falling somewhere in between authoritarianism and totalitarianism.
Well, anyway, perhaps we should take a look at the common characteristics held by any totalitarian dictator.
The first characteristic would be a single political party that has a revolutionary and exclusive ideology, or system of beliefs.
This party announces the destruction of the old order, one that was corrupt and compromised in some way.
This party proclaims itself to be a strong, pure, and muscular new age.
They are anti-liberal, anti-conservative, and anti-pluralist. In fact, they are pretty much anti-everything except for their own beliefs.
And they create myths, cults, festivals, and rituals to promote these beliefs and to commemorate their destiny as the new rulers.
Another characteristic is that their party is very fluid and Hydra-like.
Yes, especially before they actually take power, when they tend to devolve authority to local levels.
As they gain recruits and fellow believers, the party takes on a mass character with a charismatic leader at its head.
This leader claims to be all-knowing and infallible, and demands the unconditional devotion of the people.
Hey, that's like me.
You know, his mustache is rather silly looking.
A totalitarian regime has a huge bureaucracy.
And the various offices are deliberately duplicated and people are shuffled. This ensures rivalry among colleagues and forces the entire setup to rely on the one leader.
As for economics, be the state capitalist or socialist, the regime finds a way to orchestrate productive forces to meet their own goals.
In other words, the regime is somehow controlling what is produced, whether it be by privately owned businesses, or state-run enterprises. Hey, what just happened to our background?
This shows us the next characteristic, the use of propaganda. A totalitarian regime totally controls mass media, professional organizations, and public art. All of this is used to glorify the leader and the state.
The little kids with the flowers sure look happy.
Right. Total propaganda. With this, we also see the use of many clichés and catchphrases designed to impede ambivalence, nuance, and complexity.
All right, I've seen enough of Stalin. Let's go somewhere else. Oh, I do enjoy a parade.
This isn't just a normal parade. Did you notice how militaristic it is?
Ah, you're right. Totalitarian regimes tend to be very militaristic.
Violence and danger, be it from wars or street fights, are ritually celebrated.
There are party uniforms, like the spiffy outfits these guys are wearing, many metaphors, such as stormtroopers or labor brigade, and modes of address.
Hello, comrades.
We also see the desire to eliminate all enemies of the people.
This means anyone deemed guilty of wickedness in virtue of some quality. This could be political or religious beliefs, race, or ethnicity.
And of course, crimes against the state need not have actually been committed. Totalitarian dictators are going after real or imagined enemies.
More often than not, it's what people are, rather than what they do. That marks them for punishment.
Dude, what are you doing?
Oh, I thought since there was a crowd, I'd show off my moves.
Anyway, our next characteristic is the fact that the entire population is continually mobilized, through war, ceaseless campaigns, struggles, or purges.
Yes, totalitarian domination does insist on feverish activity out of the people.
Extensive use of terror is another tool totalitarian dictators use to isolate, intimidate, and regiment all whom the regime deems menacing.
This is done using a secret police force, such as the Gestapo or KGB, rather than the army. Typically, the army possesses fewer powers and less status in this type of regime.
Wow. Totalitarian dictators sure sound like some very bad dudes.
Yes. They are not the type of people one would wish to associate with.
Does that mean you aren't going to invite me to lunch?